We saw you a few. That mustache is so insane.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like Larry Bird, but
It does look like Larry Bird.
with all
Thank you.
Yeah.
none of the muscle mass.
Yeah, none of the muscle mass or the athletic ability.
I've been doing push-ups.
or courage under pressure,
Yeah.
conviction
Right.
or determination.
Yeah.
Now tell me this: you've been struggling with a kidney stone.
Oh, yeah, I have a kidney stone.
Have you
Yeah.
passed it yet?
I haven't passed it, but guess what? Last night, I came. A big load.
Right,
Wow.
because and to give some context
Yeah.
to that, you had told us that because of your kidney stone, we think you've been unable to come.
I can come, but nothing comes
You
out.
can have
It's
an
like
orgasm.
But that's not
Yeah.
coming. You have a organ
An organ.
climax,
I climax to nothing.
and so nothing comes out. And how many times did that happen?
No load. I tried about 3 times where it was nothing.
Okay,
Now this is via self-pleasure.
Yeah,
or is it sex?
it's jerking off.
Yeah.
It was jerking off. Yeah, you wouldn't want to bring that to
No, that would be very.
That's
That's
sort of a
kind of dangerous because
clinical
what?
self-trial.
Yeah. But what if you shoot the kidney stone into her?
You can.
Yeah.
They said
Really?
you can come out a
god
kidney
awful
stone.
nightmare.
What? How do you, now? Do you look through your cum now that you're coming again? Do you look through it to see if the kidney stone's
I
in
mean,
there?
I look through it anyway.
What do you use to sift through it?
My fingers.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Starting pretty graphic.
My tongue.
So you haven't passed the kidney stone, but you are coming again. So that seems like a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we
And I
think-
did think, I thought maybe the cum, because it says sometimes it's easier to come out of kidney stone because there's so much pressure just all at once.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
when I shot the
Who
load,
says that?
like
Oh,
doctors
medical-
on
yeah.
Reddit.
Medical
Doctors on Reddit.
medical professionals.
Yeah. You've mostly been consulting Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reddit is good. And then I finally went to like a
I've heard
real,
Reddit's really good. Yeah.
then I went to like a real doctor website and it said that like, the,
Real doctor website.
yeah, like doctor.com.
Yeah.
And it said like, that the medicine I was taking causes dry orgasm. It's like a huge thing.
What medicine is it for the kidney stone?
Timusolin,
that for the kidney
Timulosinian, or yeah. But I
Oh,
stopped taking it.
interesting.
'Cause
Oh,
I
you
was
stopped
like,
taking it.
I'm like, I need to come.
So that you think it was the medicine, not the kidney stone blocking
Yes.
the semen.
I do, because that's like a huge, it was like, this is caused like a big cause. Like a lot of people are like, yeah, dry orgasms, like a big thing. I'm like, why wouldn't they tell me that?
It's not a bad problem to have if you're not trying to knock somebody up.
I know, but I
kinda
don't
like-
care. I like,
All the fun,
You like
no
the
mess.
splooge, yeah.
it's mostly jerking off with me.
I like the mess.
So
I kind of like the mess too.
I like
but
the mess.
sometimes you don't. You just want to go to bed after.
I just roll over.
I
I used to do that when I was like 19.
I just throw my boxers back on. And I actually sometimes I'll take my shirt off, rub it up, throw it over there, and then,
And then,
clean right there.
go to sleep.
and then go to sleep.
Yeah, have you ever just...
Or I'll put my legs above my head and right into my mouth, and I'll swallow it.
Yeah, that helped
No
pass the
cleanup.
stone, I heard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'd be able to like feel the stone. I think. If I
Yeah, when you
swallowed.
swish it around in your
Wouldn't it
mouth.
suck to
Yeah.
swallow the stone, then have to pee it out again?
Yeah, you better be careful. I don't know where you're getting your medical advice, but it sounds like
Doctors.com.
doctors.com.
Doctors.com. Well, Joe.
This seems like a great time to introduce our guest.
Yes.
At the very least.
Would
And
you-
explain the podcast.
Absolutely.
Well, Dayton, this is the Echo Chamber podcast with Joe and Trent, the only podcast where 2, sometimes 3, comedians read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free
from work.
Whoa.
And today, we're joined by the one and only Dayton Bissett, comedian extraordinaire,
He's in the hot
All
seat.
over.
full-time comedian, and road stand-up comic, fellow Kansas City native.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
KC, represent.
Dayton, welcome to the show. Now,
This is cool.
basically what we're going to do, we're going to read some stories from the Wall Street Journal, and then we're going to just talk about them, riff about them. Trent, you want to give us a little rundown of what we're going to hear today?
Joe, I would love nothing more than to give us a little rundown of my stories today. Well, Boeing has some competition. A Brazilian aircraft maker is stepping up to the call.
Someone's got to step up to
Yeah.
the call. It's wide open right now.
What's Boeing?
Boeing is an. They
you-
make airplanes.
You ever heard about the airplanes that have been falling apart and like they're getting in trouble?
I heard about that door coming off.
was a
Yeah,
Boeing.
that's
Okay,
a Boeing.
okay.
And
And then they
they're-
killed 2 whistleblowers.
Good thing
Yeah.
I've never flown Boeing.
Well,
you probably have.
you better not fly Boeing if you are a GOP lawmaker.
Uh-oh.
Because a lot of GOP lawmakers are daredevils in the House of Representatives.
Wow.
And they're skydiving and going on crazy daredevil activities every weekend. We're going to hear a little bit about what our GOP congressmen or Republican lawmakers are up to on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
Pretty dangerous. Might be putting their razor-thin majority at risk.
Oh, boy. That's exciting. And another business being threatened by AI.
Oh, who's it this time?
Stock photos.
Not stock photos.
Oh no.
That's an honest mom and pop type business.
Absolutely.
Well, another business being threatened by none other than its own inner workings. That would be the campaign of one Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, no.
Turns out that the people he's surrounded himself with, not great for running a campaign.
Really? Well, that's if you want to believe the Wall Street Journal.
That's true. Yeah, which we don't. We just read. We're just the messengers. Yeah, we just tell people what happened. So we'll find out a little bit more about the inner workings in RFK's campaign.
And in my final story, Joe, this is a little visit from one of our favorite sections, the personal journal.
I have a feeling it might not be the last visit.
Oh, boy. Turning it on and off. It doesn't just work with computers. Many things can be helped by turning it on and off, so we'll get into that.
Some argued that if Chris Farley could find a way to turn it off,
Exactly.
had his longevity prolonged as well. Very introspective, very cerebral article from the Personal Journal. Well, we're also going to be hearing another story, the final story of the podcast, also from the Personal Journal.
One of our
favorite sections in the Wall Street Journal. Another birthday party? Not half bad.
Whoa.
Half birthdays. They're being celebrated by the younger folks.
Jesus
Christ. Gross.
People your age. And you better have an explanation for what your generation's...
You have to speak for all
whatever the fuck.
your entire generation.
Do you know your half birthdays? Days?
Well,
Yeah, I think so. I could do the math. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I couldn't do
Well, it's
the math.
365 days in a year, so it's impossible to split it.
There's really no way of knowing.
There's
no way of
two
knowing.
half
Yeah, I
birthdays.
can't do the
Leap
math.
year in there, it's a mess. Yeah.
Mine's February 3rd. That's my actual birthday. But I have no idea how to do
March.
two divided by...
Well, you may not figure out when it is, but you might find out how to celebrate
All
it.
right,
in our last
well-
one. Well, Trent, kick us off.
I'll start us off here. This, Joe and Dayton,
Hello.
is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
Headline: Brazilian aircraft maker eyes jet to rival Boeing.
Wow.
With Boeing in the throes of its latest crisis, one of its smaller rivals, Embraer, is exploring options for a new model to challenge the duopoly for large jets that has dominated the industry for almost 3 decades.
So a duopoly is like two companies owning everything, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's Boeing and Airbus? Airbus.
Airbus.
Boeing makes 737 Maxes, and Airbus makes A320s.
I don't know any Airbuses.
You only hear about Boeing, which is maybe a bad thing. Or a good thing for Airbus, a bad thing for Boeing, because all their planes are falling apart. They're
Flight out of the sky. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
They're shooting people in the fucking head.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they're even bothering to kill the whistleblowers anymore, because it's like every other story is like Boeing plane explodes in the middle of the air, and then one whistleblower is like, things aren't so good here at Boeing. And they're like, shut up! It's like, what do you mean? It's obvious.
Right, yeah.
They're like putting bullets in their head in the middle of the night. You said the wrong thing.
Well, internal assessments conducted by Embraer have determined that the Brazilian company has the technological know-how and manufacturing might to develop a next-generation narrow-body aircraft.
Wow.
It's first in the market. People familiar with the company's strategy and planning said Embraer has a market value of about $5 billion and
Pretty
specializes in regional and business jets.
You know, the fact that they're Brazilian, I would hope that they'll bring back kind of like sexy flight attendants as well.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Fun South American airline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
bad thing about a Brazilian aircraft,
Yeah.
there's no landing strip.
There's no landing strip.
Brazilian wax. There's no.
Mabry,
That's really the only reason why I picked this story to do that.
That's for your big line.
Yeah.
What I could tell was so constructed from the.
Gus Kelly.
Pretty good. Pretty
Thank
good.
you. Gus Kelly, chief executive of AerCap, one of the biggest aircraft lessors, said he wouldn't expect any new Embraer-derived narrow-body jets until the mid to late 2030s.
Oh, cool. So I think Boeing has time to strategize before these guys hit the market.
Why do they care about narrow?
Well, that's
Narrow-bodied.
So that's what Boeing makes. They make the planes that people fly on. Embraer is more in the
Cargo planes, probably.
Yeah, or like a
People
private,
want narrow
private
now.
planes. And
People
stuff
want slim and
Why?
sleek. It's sexy.
Don't you want it
sexy. It's hot.
open and more seats, more money?
No, that's more money. Yeah, you want to give people no leg room. That's where the money is. The less leg room we have, the more money.
Yeah, they want
make.
more.
Wow.
They want it less
is
leg
that?
room and more seats. Fucking packed in like
Well, I'm
sardines.
saying if you make it bigger, open, you could put more seats in and
Yeah,
still
but
make
then-
it compact and.
But the dynamics, the aerodynamics,
Oh,
you have to go faster to take flight.
Why
Well-
is it that if they take an inch away from our leg room, they somehow make like $1 trillion more a year? It's sad that that's how it shakes out.
Yeah,
it could
it
be
is
anything
weird.
else.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a plane where they're like, it weighs too much? One side's lopsided.
yeah. They make you
Well,
split
if
up.
it's not, they make you go, sir, sit in the back
Yeah.
to distribute
That
the
doesn't
weight
make
correctly.
you feel good.
Yeah, Mike,
The plane is relying on us.
yeah.
They should have figured that out.
And if you need to use the restroom, please use the one in the back. God forbid I walk to the front restroom.
fucking
No, could nosedive the whole plane. Run back!
Sir.
And I'll nosedive right into an empty prairie. So Embraer's ambitions have firmed in recent months, with Boeing in turmoil after a 737 MAX jet operated by Alaska Airlines lost a fuselage panel mid-flight. The accident prompted U.S. air safety agencies to put limits on Boeing's manufacturing facilities and led to an executive shakeup, including the resignation of Chief Executive David Calhoun.
Dave Calhoun.
By the end of the year. Boeing doesn't have a firm plan for how it will replace its decades-old 737 line. The company has said it could.
They don't have a plan.
Well, the company has said it could launch a new aircraft in the middle of the next decade, similar to Airbus's current timeline. But Calhoun has since said that a decision will fall to a future Boeing CEO.
No shit. No, I did read a thing that Boeing is. And I'm not even making this up.
Yeah.
I saw this. They're going to start doing flying cars in Asia.
Well, they
Whoa.
figured out the plane. They've nailed the plane.
Nailed the plane.
Yeah, they've got the
Why
plane.
not? Actually, it makes sense. They're probably like, let's get a little closer to the ground.
Yeah. What I get why it was popular when it first came about in the 60s, when people were like, oh, flying cars, the way of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand it now.
No, now it'd be sick.
You think it'd be sick?
I think it'd be
If you could
pretty
just
tight.
get in your car and fly to
fly over all
Missouri.
the traffic. It's great.
You fly up. But the way it's drawn in every cartoon I've seen, they're barely off the ground. It may be in the Jetsons they're flying around, but
Yeah,
it's
you're
more
right.
of like a hovercraft.
Yeah, you gotta think
Yeah,
more
well, no,
jets.
these
than-
ones
Yeah.
are going to be flying.
Wow.
These ones are going to be like 70 feet in the air. Flying.
I can't imagine how that would backfire at all.
Well,
You just have to swerve around the buildings and stuff like that. Other planes and things like that.
well, this
Avoid
sounds like
birds.
it takes the plan out of plane. That's what I thought of. But,
That's pretty good.
Well,
pretty good.
we'll
We
end with a quote here. I've talked to everyone at Boeing that I can possibly address, and the message is the same. Get your act together, said American Airlines CEO Robert Isom. He later said Embraer has delivered day in and day out through the pandemic, no matter the concerns of their supply chain. So he's rooting for Embraer, and I think we all are. Boeing's fucked.
It's over. They fucked it all
Yeah,
up.
they've ruined it. They've
They
ruined their
fucked it
goodwill.
all up.
get
Well,
your act together. I'm
Well,
sorry,
some
guys.
planes are going down.
Straighten up and fly right. They said to Boeing.
That's right. Some planes are going down, Trent and Dayton. Others are jumping out of planes entirely.
Oh wow.
This is from the Wall Street Journal. House GOP Daredevils caused jitters. Despite a razor-thin majority, Let's go skydiving. Washington, Dateline, Washington. The first text message, Representative Judy Yackham, Republican, Indiana.
Oh.
You're from there.
I don't know Judy Yackham.
You don't know Yackham?
I don't know Yackham.
Oh, you voted him in. I know how you vote.
I did. Yeah, I mailed my vote in.
You mail your ballot in.
I mailed my ballot in, and I vote in person in New York. So
you go red down the line.
You're red?
No.
He said, curiously. The first text message, Representative Rudy Yackham sent after skydiving in January was to House Majority Whip Tom Emer. What the hell's a whip? I hear that sometimes.
It's like a...
Well, okay. Well, there's a guy. It's a guy, they call him the whip.
Yeah, I don't really know what a whip is.
To tell him that he was okay and that Republican ranks hadn't been further diminished. Quote, "Don't worry, Tom. Your whip count is still safe," he wrote. It was half jest, half reassurance. Yackham is among a group of adrenaline junkies in the Republican conference.
You wouldn't think it would be the Republicans who are adrenaline junkies.
Yeah. You'd think it would be those wild Democrats like Pete Buttigieg, classically trained gay pianist. Yackham is among a group of adrenaline junkies in the Republican conference embracing extreme sports in their free time, which might make for fun office chatter if the GOP didn't have a razor-thin 217 to 212 majority in the House.
Oh, they're worried about them dying.
That math means every member sidelined by a weakened warrior mishap is a possible legislative crisis.
Wow.
One of these guys dies in an airplane. They've got a razor-thin majority. They're leaping out of airplanes every weekend. Yeah. Quote, "No bungee jumping, no swimming with sharks, no skydiving," one recalls saying. Lawmakers say Johnson hasn't leaned on members to take more precautions. For now, many GOP daredevils remain undeterred. Consider the dozen or so Republican lawmakers orchestrating a tribute to mark D-Day's 80th anniversary. Their plan? Parachute from a World War II era plane.
Jesus Christ.
Talk about fucking fuselage flying off. Onto the beaches of Normandy this coming June.
What? That's insane.
Yeah, they're going to go do that. Quote, "Everything is vintage except for the parachutes are new,"
Oh.
said Representative Mike
No,
Waltz.
I say if you're going to commit.
That's true.
Yeah, use
They're
old
literally
parachutes.
getting a fucking plane from 80 years ago and skydiving onto the beaches of Normandy.
That's insane.
To play G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that's wild.
They can't have fun no more?
Now,
I don't understand.
No, I mean, it is kind of tight. All the stuff they do is pretty tight compared
Now,
to like what is Elizabeth Warren doing on the weekend? Fucking New York Times crossword puzzle?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
just smoking the peace pipe.
Doing Ancestry.com. Shaking it up for different results. Like it's a fucking magic 8-ball. Please be Cherokee.
There's got to be some in there.
There's got to be something in there.
Now, would you guys, I don't want to cut you off, Joe.
No.
Would you guys do any of these things? Would you guys skydive
I'd
or,
swim
or
with
fucking
sharks.
swim with sharks?
If I was in a cage,
in a cage, yeah.
far away from them.
Sure.
Would you jump out of a plane?
No. I'd never jump out of
What
a
about an
plane.
80-year-old plane?
Yo, yeah.
Who'd you jump out
On
of?
the beaches of Normandy.
On Normandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Waltz, meanwhile, also scuba dives and surfs in his coastal district, which he refers to as the, quote, shark bite capital of the world. This
Wow.
is a Republican congressman from Florida.
Yeah.
He swims with the sharks every weekend.
He used to be the mayor in Jaws, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that was New York.
They said make him fucking a representative. Well, Representative Rich McCormick from Georgia, a former American Gladiator contestant and emergency room doctor, is part of the D-Day skydiving group. He also rides a skateboard around the U.S. Capitol and is not a douchebag at all, for sure, and is gearing up to play in a summer rugby tournament. Quote, "This is who I am," said McCormick, 55, who recalls flying helicopters with night vision goggles while in the U.S. Marines. Quote, "You can't change who you are because of the job you have." Yeah, you can.
Yeah. It's that's
You
the
definitely
thing.
can.
Yeah. It's like this is like the same thing as that guy John Fetterman who wears a fucking tuxedo t-shirt wherever he goes. Why you can dress for the job you want.
Well, Trent Fetterman has clinical depression.
Sure.
And we all know that when you're clinically depressed, you can't put a whole suit on. To wear a suit shirt.
Right, yeah.
These guys have like the opposite of Fetterman syndrome.
Yeah.
They're living it up. But isn't that just the case with all Republicans and Democrats?
What's
This is a
that?
perfect example. Democrats we all have clinical depression.
That's
and the Republicans
true.
are out there having the time of their life.
That's
Having
true.
fun, shooting.
They don't even
Yeah.
believe in global warming. They think our best years are ahead of us. Imagine how nice that would feel.
Yeah,
how liberating that
you're
would feel
right.
in your brain to think that things are actually going to get better.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
right.
these people think.
You're right.
That's true.
I'd fucking jump out of a plane without a care in the fucking world.
Yeah. If I thought history was a rising road and there were better days ahead.
Get a fucking couple of pictures at Hooters afterwards.
Yeah. Snarf down some chicken wings and fucking phone it into my legislative job the next day. Well, Representative Troy Balderson from Ohio, also Republican, 62 years old, has participated in off-road motorcycle races and says his body has, quote, pins and plates from the hobby. He wears a helmet and protective gear, but he says he hasn't changed his riding behavior. Business as usual, he declares. The good Lord is watching over me.
That's also something. They believe in the Lord, the good
They
Lord.
believe in the good Lord.
N-
That helps too.
Yeah, Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
It's, when they think once they die, it's fucking complete darkness. They're cowering in fear of death.
Democrats, there's no God.
Yeah.
There's never been a God. There's no hope. Oh, yeah, there's Obama, and he's in the fucking rearview mirror. It's our last beacon of hope. Left off his 10 years. Yeah. It is. Sometimes it's crazy to see how the other half lives.
Yeah.
Republican Bob Latta, also from Ohio, a 68-year-old, was wheeled into a recent House vote with his foot in a boot, courtesy of a pickleball mishap. His
Pickleball.
spokesman
That's
said,
hardly
Not
"Yeah,
bad.
they can't get
compared to all the other stuff.
Sure, he's not a
What was he
Democrat.
doing? That sounds like some Democrat activity.
I heard you're playing pickleball.
Pickleball too hard.
I hurt my wrist doing the crossword. Emer, the majority whip, says he did give him a talking to after another congressman took a spill in a Wyoming oh God, I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh,
Bless you.
bless
Sorry,
you.
guys,
That's
I
our
really
I think
tried-
that's our first sneeze on
It's
the
our
podcast.
first sneeze on the pod. I really tried to make it in the end of that sentence,
That's all
but I
right.
couldn't get there.
Hey.
There's not much more to this, really.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a funny story that they're all doing insane
Yeah.
things.
Kind
to
of
jeopardize.
cool. Kind of makes me want to switch over.
You gonna go skydiving and not worry about it?
They're having fun.
Living it up. Well,
Imagine taking away rights 5 days a week and
Yeah.
then skydiving on the weekend. That's
Yeah.
a wild
man.
life they
You
live.
kind of have
it
to.
is.
Yeah, you kind of have to go skydiving. It's a nice
Yeah.
palate cleanser from all the taking away of
Well, they
rights.
think they're like they feel like golden gods.
Yeah, it's true.
When you said like extreme sports, I was thinking like hunting like elephants and stuff like that.
They do that.
They
yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt, big
Bully.
bully.
Wait, my hero?
Yeah,
He
used to
really-
hunt all kinds of big game.
Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah.
What
Teddy
a
Roosevelt's your hero.
what an asshole!
He was a big game hunter. That was like a huge part of his life. It sounds like you don't know a whole lot about your hero.
What a piece of shit! Goes and hunts elephants.
It was
I hate
100,
that guy now.
120 years
Yeah.
ago.
Never watching Night at the Museum again.
You just liked the Robin Williams version of
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt. That was your
Yeah.
hero. Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
That
one
was
is
That
a
awesome.
makes
better-
sense, actually.
It's a better Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he was
boys,
cool.
this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
Headline: AI threatens to upend stock photo business.
No! Say it ain't so.
Stock photographers who survived the disruptive advent of digital cameras
How did they make it through that?
and online sales are bracing themselves for the next
Wait, hold
great
on. How
tech
did that
shock.
change anything?
More
every-
people had access to cameras.
Photos. Yeah.
To photos.
The photos. Taking photos
to taking, yeah,
through cameras.
yeah, through cameras. More people had access to photos through cameras. No, more people. Dayton, you're a little younger than us. I don't want to reveal your age. But Joe, when you were in school, did every girl in your high school just make an Instagram that they had like a photography company now? No.
Well, we didn't have Instagram in high school.
Oh.
I graduated in 2010, and I think it was right before Instagram.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, MySpace.
We had MySpace. when I was-
MySpace and the Facebook.
Yeah, we had the Facebook. I graduated in 2004.
Well, every girl in my class
Somebody might be generalizing.
when I would never generalize anything about involving the
Holding women.
Yeah,
It's all
fair
girls.
sex.
It really is.
no, but every girl they would get a nice digital camera and they would make an Instagram account. So like Ashley H Photography, and then they would take
Pictures of,
Yeah,
like, of
yeah.
like a flower.
of
outside. Yeah.
promposals
Yeah.
and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they would make a quick little buck.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of boys, too.
Well, you're a little younger,
No,
so
I'm just
You're
kidding.
like-
There were no boys.
Things kind of took a
There
big
was-
change in
yeah.
that generation.
There were 0
What was
boys.
the percentages?
So they survived digital cameras and online sales, but the generative AI, it's the next big thing. Some are predicting the worst. Quote, the stock photography industry is going away, said Connecticut-based photographer Tony Northrup. AI is ending it for the remaining photographers who figured out how to stay profitable. Photographers' concerns highlighted growing unease within the wider commercial creative industries that AI will wipe out jobs that until now have relied on artistic talent and decades of experience.
Like taking a picture of a beach with no one on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I think AI can take stock photos. That's just a job. One job that AI can take, and I don't really have an issue with
I
that.
can't really think of another job they could take. So,
Yeah.
as far as I can see, it's
This
not
is
that
kind of what AI is.
Seems
It's
like a
taking
one-
stock photos.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is this guy a stock?
That's a stock photo photographer.
That's how
yes.
I'd imagine them
Pete,
all to look.
Salutos.
Is that a stock photo of a stock photo photographer?
No, but this is
If you
is
go-
a stock photo generated by AI.
See, I like that.
If you Google stock,
like it too.
stock
I like
photo
that one.
photographer, this is the first
That's
thing that
the
comes up.
Well, just to give the folks watching at home, that's made by AI.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
the
I'm
one
a
made
big
by
fan of-
AI more. I like
Yeah.
that more.
Yeah, I like it a little better.
Every idiot. That one looks better.
Industries such as marketing, publishing, music, and news have long relied on stock photography to create, illustrate, or promote their products for less cost than commissioning photos would require. AI's new capability to generate realistic images from single text prompts is now giving stock clients an affordable, fast alternative that comes with greater control of the final image. Quote, I'm concerned that my best efforts to be a creative photographer and responsible business owner will quickly become all for naught, said Shannon Fagan,
Yeah,
a
Shannon Fagan.
Memphis, Tennessee-based photographer. I anticipate that it will make my stock photography collection somewhat obsolete.
Aww. Poor Shannon Fagan.
Oh, your stock photos are going away.
What am I going to look at?
The companies that broker stock imagery say doom-mongering is unfounded. Consumers are still proving hostile toward AI-generated images, and so are marketers looking to convey an air of authenticity.
Well, they'll work out those kinks in like 6 months.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Real photos of real things are still in demand, said Paul Hennessy, CEO of stock photography provider Shutterstock, on an earnings call in February. Quote, we are not seeing our customers at any level of scale with a desire to buy, purchase, and utilize AI-generated images. The stock photo companies are hedging their bets, however, by introducing AI tools of their own. So they're just saying, yeah, don't worry about it, but we're getting in on the ground.
Also,
floor.
his response was created by ChatGPT.
Top,
They're all lying through their teeth. It's
Yeah.
going to displace every single
right, yeah.
photographer, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it.
No, it's a runaway train.
To runaway train.
It's the only way to-
Honestly, if you asked it to generate you a picture of a runaway train, it would look pretty sick.
Well, get this. This used to be a big business, stock photography, before the invention of the digital camera. And the top photographers in the 70s, 80s, and 90s routinely earned thousands of dollars from ad agencies, record labels, and media companies for one photo. Life was good until digital photography changed everything.
No.
The supply just totally outpaced the demand, said Washington State-based photographer Pete Saludos. Photo agencies consolidated and moved their businesses online, expanding their libraries and reducing prices and royalties. Quote, at one point, I was getting as much as $2,000 for the use of a photo, and that went down to 2 cents.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, you know what they say? They used to say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But nowadays, 1,000 pictures are hardly worth a word.
Wow.
Something to think about.
That's true. That guy, well, they've already been failing. I mean, 2 cents off a photo. It's like, are you that mad about AI then?
Right, well.
Like,
I mean,
you're kind of already
most people get stock photography for free unless you use a ton of it. Then you pay for a service or something.
Yeah, you just illegally download it off of Google.
Yeah.
It seems really hard to make your living on stock photography as it is.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what it is. It's the final death nail in the coffin of stock photography.
Yeah,
stock
well, I mean, he's had it
around the world.
coming. Shannon Farad or whatever has had it coming for a while now. I mean, I don't know what he's complaining about. I don't really. It makes no sense. It's already, he's like, I've been getting 2 cents. He was talking about the digital photography. Now he's like, why does he care anymore? What's that? I don't understand. All right, sorry.
It's all right. No, it's all right. We just try to keep our tempers under control in this podcast.
It's okay.
Well, you know who else might be out of work pretty soon besides Shannon Farage, whatever the fuck his name is.
Shannon Fagan.
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 I believe it's a lady as well.
Shannon Fragrant. Well, that picture was a man.
Talk
There's different. They interviewed different stock photographers.
Talk about a bullshit job. I mean,
Yeah,
every day
stock
it's a little more bullshit. Well, you know who else might be fearing for their job? The staff of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
Inside RFK Jr.'s unorthodox campaign.
Mm-hmm.
As the presidential election was heating up in February, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign made an announcement to staff. Charles Eisenstein, the director of messaging, bullshit job, would spend weeks in Costa Rica, quote, reconnecting with spirit. Like with his spirit.
Ayahuasca.
While there, he recorded a podcast interview in which he said some of his boss's ideas were, quote, actually repugnant, but that Kennedy was still the best candidate. Kennedy, 70 years old, has surrounded himself with aides and advisors who have little political experience, and in some instances, histories that might have raised eyebrows on other campaigns. Former staffers complain that some top officials are more focused on raising their own profiles than helping the candidate, among other concerns. As a result of the disorder, several people have quit.
Wow.
No.
It's crazy when you have the perfect candidate for the president. And to see that they just can't get their act together.
Well, it sounds like people are using him.
So he went to get in touch with his spirit, but then did a podcast?
This is just one of the guys that work for him who's just doing weird things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In some ways, the campaign embodies Kennedy himself, who has promoted conspiracy theories, in particular on vaccines, and some say conspiracy, some say proven fact, and espouses political views from across the spectrum. Randall Economy... His last name's Economy. Wow. Was a senior advisor on ballot access until he was fired after a disagreement with senior staff in February.
Well, his name's not Randall Ballot.
Said the people Kennedy has surrounded himself with make his likelihood of success even slimmer. The Kennedy campaign includes family members and several people from his anti-vaccine group. His communications director, Del Bigtree. These names are bullshit.
Bullshit names.
Runs another major anti-vaccine group and spoke at a rally a block from the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Bigtree said in an email that the event was dedicated to medical freedom, not to the election of President Trump.
Sure,
yeah, whatever you gotta say. Several staffers fear the electromagnetic radiation from microwave ovens complicating volunteer potlucks. People have been advised to bring crock pots.
Whoa.
The campaign has paid eye-popping amounts to some staffers with seemingly little experience, including $8,000 a month for a digital strategist who graduated from high school in 2021.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Sounds like he's just surrounding himself with cool people.
Yeah, cool
They
people.
do
They don't
sound
like
cool.
to use microwaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem smart.
The campaign has employed some unconventional fundraising efforts as well. AIDS launched a program that allows any supporter who raises more than $100 to take 10% cut of the haul.
That's sick.
That's kind of a cool deal. So if I
Yeah.
raise 20 grand, I get 10% of 20 grand.
Yeah, there's really no way of knowing what
Well
that
over
is.
$100.
Yeah. That's kind of cool, actually.
The freewheeling style is also evident on the inner workings of the campaign, where some aides have shared confidential information or complained about strategy during widely attended Zoom calls with little regard as to who was listening. They go, we're going to go after Biden in Michigan. And there's like 400 people on
Yeah.
the call. Like a Wall Street Journal reporter. Campaign staff have on their calendars an optional invite to Sunday prayer circles where a reverend who heads up a group that opposes vaccination requirements for children leads a prayer for Kennedy's divine protection. The campaign posts videos of the prayer circle on YouTube. Well, that sounds nice. A lot of us feel like we're in a movie all of the time, one former aide said. The dysfunction, aides say, has manifested itself in absence of strategy for appealing to Trump or Biden's supporters. They said the campaign has made scant effort to understand either groups of voters. They go, we don't know who we're trying to get.
But I mean, do Trump or Biden really have? I mean, Trump does, sure. These is diehard fans. Biden doesn't have anybody really supporting him. I mean, the people that vote for him that are not Trump, but there's
Well, the concern is that the people who will vote for
Yeah.
him, he might lose some of those to, because I think Kennedy cuts into both,
yeah,
but in ways that they're really not taking advantage
Sure,
of. Because
sure,
they
sure.
can't get any of their shit together.
sure.
But yeah, because I think they said in here, I didn't mention it, but like, I think young people and Latinos are groups,
My kind of people.
groups for Biden that Kennedy's going to take a bite out of.
Yeah,
But then like conspiracy theorists and other people or like
Sure.
Trump people
Yeah.
that he might take a bite out of those.
yeah.
Like many candidates, Kennedy engenders strong feelings of support among his staff, but several aides said their colleagues' commitment to the candidate was almost cult-like. Quote, it was a cult of personality more than traditional politics, said Kramer. What's Kramer doing?
I wonder where
He slid in the door.
It's called a personality, Jerry.
That's not the only thing Kramer said. I don't have to get into the details.
What else did he say?
Kramer, the former ballot
said a lot
access
of funny
director,
things.
bullshit job. Yeah. Really funny stuff.
He has a book coming out. Michael Richards.
It's called Wouldn't Change a Thing. The Michael Richards story.
Just a little plug. Plug for Michael Richards' book.
Oh, I thought this was interesting. The last paragraph. Some on the campaign believe that Kennedy is unlikely to win outright.
Yeah,
But
that's not a
that's a pretty
yeah,
safe
not a
assumption.
strong stance.
But that he
really.
can siphon away enough support to stop Biden or Trump from winning the 270 electoral votes required for victory. That's their strategy. That would leave it to the House of Representatives to decide a winner.
Oh,
And this is their long shot strategy.
yeah.
And some on Kennedy's team truly believe that lawmakers will pick him as the national savior because his major party rivals are so unpopular. No election has been sent to Congress since the 1800s.
Really? Doesn't say
They're
who.
crazy for
No,
thinking they're going
that's-
to go with Kennedy.
Yeah, not a snowball's chance in hell that'll ever happen.
It's going to go to Trump unless a couple guys die in a skydiving accident. It's going to be a fucking toss-up.
Yeah, so if they're taking Boeing airplanes when they go skydiving.
It's the wrong year to be skydiving,
Yeah.
guys.
Did it say who the last guy was to get elected that way?
It
No.
does. It didn't say.
You're a history buff. Could you take a guess?
Well, whoever came after, I forget who it was, but whoever came after Grant, Grant,
Ulysses S. Grant.
it was the next president after that. I think it was like a big shitstorm, and they
Yeah.
had to he almost declared martial law, and they went to Congress, and was a big clusterfuck. It was either like Rutherford B. Hayes or
Yeah.
some fuck.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, I believe it was Michael Caine.
Yeah,
I think it was
Michael
Alfred.
Caine.
Yeah.
Presidents.
Well, who's your favorite president, Dayton?
Yeah,
No, you
Dayton.
said Teddy
haven't
Roosevelt.
really learned
Who's your
enough
hero?
about
Yeah, I didn't say favorite. I said hero.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I used the
hero.
word hero. I don't know. I like Obama. Probably not my favorite. I like Lincoln.
Yeah.
Lincoln's
Did you like
cool.
Bush too?
I don't remember Bush. He was the president when I was alive,
When
right?
you were, yeah,
Yeah.
for like the first 8 years.
I don't remember him. I remember Obama. I remember Michael Caine. I remember I remember Trump. I remember Biden.
Have you ever voted in a presidential?
Yeah, I voted for Biden.
Okay, well, we just lost 30 listeners.
I voted for Trump and Biden. I went in twice.
We like to
Nice.
really toe the line. Keep them guessing.
Yeah, we are right down the middle.
I didn't.
Kennedy for me.
I've never voted. I did. I voted once.
Have
Yeah.
you ever read the newspaper?
No. This is very boring.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't really seem like the right podcast for you.
You guys are just talking to each other.
Yeah. You're kind of just waiting for it to be over. It seems like. That's all right.
Well, perhaps this will be more up your alley.
Yeah, because the
This
last
is from
two
the
stories are from the personal journal.
Yes, the personal journal. Less news, more
more
personal.
Personal.
We
Yeah.
can talk about our own feelings too.
That's
all the
great.
time.
I just have a hard time listening.
That's
Yeah, you.
as you're playing with your waistband. All right. Well, this is from the personal journal. Headline: The gadget fixing magic of rebooting everything.
Well, I don't even know what does that mean.
From cell phones and laptops to airplanes and trains, turning it off and on is often the solution.
Has Boeing
Oh,
tried
I was
that?
excited for this
I don't-
one.
Okay.
The turning it off
Show
and
it.
on one.
Yeah. You want to try reading the first couple paragraphs?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's start here.
Yeah.
Whether it's your computer or a mile-long train, the number one way to fix tech problems hasn't changed in years. Try turning it off and on again. A reboot is a no-duh solution, which is why your IT helpers almost always recommend doing that first. It turns out that flipping a device off and on can resolve software issues and bugs. This has been true for decades. Computers have advanced, but they still largely work. So I don't like
That's
that.
actually pretty good. I didn't know if you could read or not. So that was kind of mind
You did
blowing
a
for me.
very good job.
Thank
Dave.
you. I have dyslexia. I don't like how it's so tight and there's words that are cut off and you have to figure out what's going on.
that can get
Dayton
confusing.
is a victim from the Missouri and Oklahoma education
It's
system.
the two
yeah.
worst.
Wow.
Missouri's number one
Yeah.
in bad right now.
Number one in bad. Yeah, and that shows it.
Proof is in the pudding. Jesus Christ.
It's number one in bad.
Where did you read that? Fucking.
You want me to finish?
No, that's all right. You did, but you did very good. I'm
Thank
very
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Kenny Chan, a senior technology manager at Archetype, a San Francisco-based communications and marketing agency, bullshit agency, says he gets about 2 to 4 tickets a week about issues that could have been resolved by doing a reboot. Quote, some users come to me and say, I just did the reboot and it didn't work, but let me do it with you while you're on the call with me, Chan said. It works when I'm there. So have you guys ever helped your parents
Oh yeah. You tell them, Mom, turn it on and turn it
turn
off.
it off? And she
Kick
goes,
it.
I did that. And then you walk over there and it works and you go, it's because you're here.
Because you're
Yeah.
old and you're already dead.
Yeah.
And you're just walking around and we're waiting to put you in the fucking ground. And the world has passed you by.
Yeah. So honestly, when I heard Dayton read the first 2 paragraphs, I completely lost interest in the story.
I was gonna say when
Yeah.
you started reading it
Yeah.
again, I went, yeah, it is pretty kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I read, I don't focus on what I'm reading. I focus on how to get the words
Sure.
out. So I
Right,
didn't
I'm gonna try to
understand.
read this in a way where you stay attentive to it.
Okay.
It's a big challenge.
All right.
All right.
Another birthday party.
Another birthday party, not half bad. This is
I'm
our final
intrigued.
story today. This is
This
from
is the one I was excited about.
Yeah. This is from
Sorry.
the Personal Journal. Young adults, many your own age, Dayton, are throwing elaborate half-birthday celebrations with themed picnics, booking DJs, and even vacations. which is not annoying at all.
Does this sound like something you would think would be fun?
I'm intrigued in this because I don't really want to. I doubt they'll listen, but my brother has 3 kids, and when he just had the one, they would always celebrate his half birthday. Like I can't do this; it's his half birthday. And I was like, that's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, were
They're
they like
celebrating
toddlers?
his birthday? Yeah,
Yeah, because it's for toddlers. But this is like 23-year-olds.
that's not a
That's-
real birthday.
No, half celebrating a half birthday is crazy. Even if it's your firstborn son.
Yeah,
You should just get that idea out of their head right away.
Yeah.
to cancel plans.
Yeah,
to be
that's
like
wild.
he's half.
Also, try to read the first name, the name at the very beginning there.
I get you, woo. I get you,
And the last name.
woo. Onwegboo. Get your coup Onwegboo.
think you did a
Invited her
pretty good
friends.
job.
Invited her friends on 3-day getaway to New Orleans last year to celebrate turning 24 and a half. They thought she was half, joking.
Pretty good.
That's got some jokes in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
personal
Personal
journal.
journal, yeah.
They're funny.
Yeah.
They're funny.
There was a lot of side eye. Said the Houston Medical School student, bullshit thing to study, now 25. It's actually one of the most important things around. Her friends went along with it anyway, accompanying her to museums and bars and a 2-hour boat party on Lake Pontchartrain. She paid $1,000 for the trip, and her friends paid about the same. Would you spend $1,000 on
Jesus.
somebody's half birthday
Are
party?
they like rich? They have to be. Does it show their net worth in there?
Well, why don't you just Google Ogetchewoo Awegaboo?
Net worth, yeah.
Well, Dayton, half birthdays are the latest milestone, sort of, for adults. They are borrowing an idea more often associated with toddlers and instead throwing themed picnics, booking DJs, and taking vacations that run in the thousands of dollars. For younger adults, people in your generation, traditional milestones like weddings are happening later in life.
Yeah,
Not at
that's
all.
true.
That has left a void in the calendar that made milestones that made up milestones
no
are helping
void.
to fill. I know.
There's
no-
many holidays.
Yeah.
There's many.
It's
What?
Halloween.
Today's me. To me this year. It's so the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And why are they spending thousands of dollars? It makes no sense. There's all like rich kids.
They're not all spending thousands of dollars.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
That was just
Like
one.
$20 is fine.
You can try to read, when
20 bucks on your
Remas.
half birthday, sure.
Yeah.
Read this name.
Jesus
Read-
Christ.
When Ramaz Adberheimen received an invitation to a friend's half birthday picnic last June, she looked past her initial skepticism and decided to help plan it.
Huh. Here's the thing. These people, clearly just want to hang out with their friends. Just invite your friends to hang out. Don't mention your half birthday.
Yeah.
Well, they want to make it all about themselves. They,
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
they also want to make it all about
They're like,
themselves.
guys, don't
they can't wait
surprise
6
me.
more fucking months.
Yeah.
God, throw this. Don't ever let my girlfriend see this because just another
You have
day
to buy
about
her
her.
two presents.
All right, this one.
Two
This one.
presents a year.
This one
Oh.
made me irate. This one made me irate. Magnus Musa, 27, who invited Abelderhamen, had hoped for gifts, but she didn't want to be presumptuous. Her friends didn't bring any.
No shit.
Still, the party was successful, although she plans to go even bigger next year for her next half birthday.
But only if her friends bring her presents.
Yeah, she was hoping
Well,
for presents.
This seems not American.
You think it's not American because of the names?
Their long names would indicate that this isn't really us problem.
Well, America, and I don't know if you know this, Dayton, America is a melting pot.
Dayton.
Yeah,
Not everybody
melting
looks
pot.
like you, Dayton. Not
Yeah.
everybody has a Missouri. That's the number one baddest
The very,
education.
number one, very bad.
Some
Number
people
one
are
bad.
well educated and like to celebrate their half birthdays, and they have different color skin than you. Okay, you gotta find
So
a problem.
that's something you got to deal with.
Oh,
Get-
Yeah,
it's
something you're gonna have to
okay.
deal with.
Get fucking
It's
used
fine.
Unless you want to go the way of Michael Richards.
Write a book.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Wrote a book.
Okay. Yeah. So half birthdays.
Are they
That's-
like? Is the writer like upset about it? Like this is stupid.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wall Street Journal has a great way of subtly putting things in that they know will piss old people off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And young people.
And young people.
This
yeah.
one makes me mad.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't mind celebrating like my half birthday, but anyone else's.
Huh. Okay.
Like I wouldn't mind if I had a half birthday. If you guys wanted to surprise me.
Now a surprise half birthday party is
That'd be
something
kind of-
else entirely.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be
actually.
fun, make it
Show your
actually scary.
That your friends really care about you.
Yeah,
If they
I-
just threw you a surprise half birthday
your
party.
half-
I lose those friends.
I would be like, what did you do to me that you're making up for now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
who fucked my wife and pillaged my bank account and feels
Yeah.
bad about it, and it's now throwing me a half birthday party.
Yeah. That would be absolutely wild.
Wouldn't that be upsetting?
It would be upsetting, actually. At first I thought it would be cool. That would be fun. It'd be flattering.
Wouldn't you be suspicious?
I'd be suspicious, and I'd be like, I gotta get better friends. These people have too much fucking time on their hands.
Yeah,
Who the
this
fuck
is
has
weird.
time
Yeah.
for that?
Yeah, I feel
Somebody
like
invited me to their half birthday party. I would block their number.
I feel like if someone threw you a half birthday party surprise, you'd show up and they'll all be wearing like purge masks and scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it'd be scary. They do bad things to you. That's what you'd be worried.
I feel like they're like it's because it's scary that they know my half birthday.
That is weird.
Because I don't even. I'm not on my every year. I think I've gone every year without being like, oh, it's my half birthday right now. 6 more months until my party.
To my big party. The last thing I didn't read from it was a guy who goes, "My birthday that's for me. That's time to reflect. My half birthday. That's when I have a party."
Oh.
Sick.
Yeah, what a maniac! You're just that's more infuriating. You're making it more about yourself.
Yeah.
You're so narcissistic that you go, "Oh, I don't do birthdays."
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You're just being an asshole about it.
Yeah.
You're still getting one every year.
Right.
You're just changing the date.
6 months
So
later.
that on your actual
Yeah.
birthday, you can look like some pious asshole and go, "I don't do birthdays."
Yeah.
Time for reflection and gratitude.
Don't say happy birthday
Yeah.
to me today.
Yeah.
Not
Fuck
today.
that guy. You should be shot in the fucking head.
Yeah. Should be dropped dead.
Everyone that we read about today should be shot in the head.
Well, except for the AI people because they're taking their jobs and their stock photos.
No, it would be unusual for somebody named Kennedy to be shot in the head. That'd be crazy.
No, we
no,
don't.
we don't.
That.
I mean, that's a joke we say that we don't. Not sure if we actually can say, but we've said it.
We've said it before. Nothing bad has happened yet.
Yeah. We always kind of do some backpedaling after that. We don't really mean that. We definitely don't want to incentivize anybody
No.
to do anything.
To get shot in the head.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we kind of did a bit of a tailspin here towards the end.
we got wild.
We got
Hey,
wild.
Dayton, is there anything? Thanks for doing the podcast. I
Yeah.
hope you had fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was so fun.
Is there anything you want to plug?
That's how I would say happy half birthday to somebody.
Yeah.
Happy half birthday.
Thanks for inviting me.
This was so fun.
This is so
this was
fun.
so
I
fun.
love spending $1,000.
Yeah, I
it's
do.
super fun.
Yeah, you can check me out on Instagram at
We're gonna
Dayton
bleep all this
Bissett.
out, by the way.
And also, you can check out my podcast, The Gecko Chamber.
Is that a
It's
real
where I'm-
podcast?
Yeah, I dress up as a gecko.
Is there a guy already doing that?
Wow.
Yeah, but I took two things that are doing pretty well and kind of merged
The
them.
gecko and the echo chamber.
Yeah,
Wow.
the
Gecko-
gecko chamber.
The gecko chamber.
It's
I
like
like
this
Gecko
exact
Chamber.
same thing, but the
That's
stories are
More interesting?
I have more fun,
Wow.
and
They're all gecko related.
it's nothing about politics
No,
and stock photos. And it's all about fun stuff, like the last story, kind of things like that, kind of things that more that
Yeah,
alley.
half birthdays, jumping out of airplanes.
And
I
I'm
don't think
more
we've
of
ever
a-
had a guest like this, Trent, huh?
And I'm more of a gecko. And I'm more of
No,
a
we really have. It's sort of an ungrateful.
no. This
Yeah.
was really fun.
Well, you know, his generation, they have half birthdays. They're kind of ungrateful. They're kind of whiny.
They take everything for granted. Yeah.
Well,
still
I just
yeah.
happened to notice that you guys didn't show up to my half birthday party.
All
I
right.
didn't
Well,
invite you. You should have just known.
thanks for doing the pod date.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it was fun.
No, it was a good time. Good luck
was
with
fun.
your kidney stone.
Thank you.
That's it. That's the show as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, rate, review, all that shit.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. And as always, this is Trent Mabry signing off.
And this is Joe Nunnink signing out.
And this is Dayton Bissett signing off.
Bye-bye.
You nailed it.